So you may have seen the other video I put up for this update on Shoot House, but I also wanted to do another video partially for myself to actually talk about like what I've been working on in the last month, and kind of go into a little bit more detail through a sort of commentary, partially for myself and then also anyone else who's interested. So in the last month, movement and positioning in the house has changed a lot. You can see now I'm actually moving around in first person, and when I go up to a window it shows a sort of silhouette, which is if I kind of walk into the silhouette or if I hit E on it, I assume this position. And let's kill this guy. It locks my view angles so I can't be like looking into the wall. It sort of like gives me this nice little perch to shoot from that if I was just in a first-person shooter mode with normal collisions, I wouldn't be able to. Now, recently there's been this weird bug with these decals. I don't think it's my fault. I think it's the engine or something. So if you see those little purple textures, that's not developer. I think that's just engine stuff. That's weird. So anyways, yeah. If I just like kind of walked up to this normally, well, I can't even walk up to it without assuming this position. So it's this sort of mounting system done away with the sort of position by position. You can look at it to move. That worked out before I actually had the house built. But as soon as I got this house built, which has also been a huge update this month, I realized if you're like in this position and like this is where you'd want to be shooting people at the door, like there's no way for you to look over at the next window without like looking into the wall, and so it's just kind of weird. So I kind of adopted this system. It still probably needs some tweaks. I like kind of do things to adjust the player's eye rotation when they walk into it. And if I press like S, just like go backwards, that's like I pop out. I think I might add maybe a little sound effect, a little like whoosh or a little something. I can't actually jump out this door or anything like that. Music has been a thing that I've been working on a little bit. I wanted to get some temporary music in, just some basic ambiance. We're gonna have cooler sounds in the future. But I developed this sort of dynamic music system where I can define different tracks and different parameters, and based off of gameplay situations, those parameters will change and those tracks fade in and out, and they're all kind of synchronized. I wish the API and the engine was a little bit better for that, but we figured it out. There's not been a whole lot of, well, I guess a big kind of change has been, you can clear the forest now. The forest is, you know, kind of real models showing up, and there's these, it's like this clear forest. There's progress required to get to the next tier. I'm not going to do that right away because I'm going to go into town. That was something that I wanted to have a little town that you go to just to break up the visuals of the game so you feel like you're away from your home. So I put together this little scene that shows the town. It's actually the same scene as the rest of the game. It's just hidden off in a corner. The houses are almost pretty much the same, but yeah, I think it looks pretty good for now. It's a little creepy, different music vibe going on. This sell treasure minigame, I actually thought it was kind of fun. So you like, it forces you to do this like little bit of math here, and I'm like, what is 22 divided by 8 or 34 divided by 6? And it'd be so easy if it just showed you, you know, like this is the price per unit, but it causes you to actually like think and like slow down and do some math, which, hey, a game's teaching you math. That's cool, right? 6 times 6 is 36. That's almost 6. Yeah, I think it's a really good deal. But when I was doing the demo video earlier, that was the first time I really like sat down and played through a handful of nights to get a feel for the game, and things are so not balanced right now. But I thought it was funny because if you've watched that, the very last day before I die, I go to the town because I'm like, oh, I really want to sell a bunch of treasure and maybe I can buy the pump shotgun, because in my mind I was like, I think the pump shotgun is gonna save me right now. I don't know if this is a good deal. 8 times 3 is 24. That's like a little bit more than 3. That's definitely a bad deal. Oh, that's a great deal. But I was sitting there trying to do this math, and like I'm a little, nervous system's activated. So like I was having trouble doing the math to figure out what's the best value for the treasure that I'm selling. Even though there's nothing going on, there's nothing like actually forcing me to make decisions fast, other than maybe the fact that it's a video and I wanted to, go at a decent speed. But in this video, I'm going a lot slower because you can hear me talking, so it's a little more exciting. You're not looking at my screen yelling at me for not knowing how to do math. So I gave myself a bunch more treasure and money in this video, just so I can play around with some more stuff. I added, there's a lot of scope models I have in, and I've set up a lot of them. I don't have all the icons, and I still need to figure out how I want to introduce all of them. I don't love that they're like military models, but right now we're going with a semi-realistic tone for the weapons and stuff like that. Let's go ahead, let's grab that pump shotgun because I think that would be really helpful. And why don't we get a 4x scope too? And since we're here, that's like all of my money. Since we're here, we'll get some more gun parts. So visually the town changed, but a lot of this menu stuff is mostly the same. I've reworked lights a little bit. I'm still don't know if I love it. I restrict you from building these other lights until you clear the forest more, so it's a little bit of a progress gate on like, you really should clear this forest. Like, yeah, you can upgrade these lights, but to get more stuff and more progress, you really need to clear this forest. And I think that's where the game really opens up. I feel like the tier 1 forest it's really, really close. And I feel like tier 2 is when it's like, oh, this is a sniping game. And that's kind of what I want to drive. But I don't want to throw people immediately into like, this is a sniping game, because I feel like having that little bit of progression at first feels nice. I think I'm going to go with definitely like the hunting rifle is something that you start out with the schematic for and make it pretty easy to craft because, once again, it's like I want you to start sniping as early as you can. But we're kind of playing around here, so we have way more resources. My goal would be to like in day 1 someone can craft the hunting rifle. And then by day 2, they definitely could have a scope for it. And I think the difficulty curve right now is a little too high. But that's all to be sorted out soon. I think this next month of progress will be more polish and actually balancing and building out a fun experience for the first handful of nights. And then adding more monsters. I have so many monsters in the queue, it's going to be a lot of fun. And also another thing is, the house is a little too pristine right now, I feel like. So we need to throw some decals on it and grunge it up. But I am loving how it looks in the game. I'm really happy with, I bought this like set of pieces. I didn't do all this art myself. I am not an artist like that. So let's set up our loadout. The pump shotgun should not be able to have that red dot on it. Let's throw the 2x scope on the hunting rifle. And south bedroom, cool. The system that I have for putting the scopes on guns, it's gone through so many iterations this month, I feel like, and models would change, attachment points would change, and it's always out of sync and out of whack. And then like the aim down sight is like, it's like, I swear, I wake up one day and it's just suddenly everything drifted by 2 units, and I don't know why. This one looks like it's lined up though. I didn't check all of them before I started recording. Okay, this one is maybe not lined up. Cool. I think I'm going to make a better system and require less copy pasting around the place because it's not been enjoyable for me, and I think for a game like this, it's really important that that all works. So I think that's something I'm going to be spending some time working on next month. This is 3 months of progress right now, maybe like 3 months in a week. I did take a couple days off and just took a break this kind of past month. Yeah, got our nice monsters. I think nights 1 and 2 are just going to be the first monster that you encounter. these red-eyed guys. I've reworked their mechanics a little bit where when you shoot them, they speed up a little bit if you don't kill them right away, but not a whole lot. And they're kind of supposed to be the, like, really easy to kill, one headshot with pretty much any gun, except for the starter pistol. 2 headshots for that. 2 headshots. I think it's 2 headshots, or a headshot and a body shot. So, we're getting them off. Our revolver. That's working out. Now I can aim. There was, in the other video I recorded, the first one, I noticed a strange bug where I would kill them, and then I didn't notice at first or realize what was happening, but it was spawning multiple ragdolls. And I was like, what is calling the create ragdoll code? And there must be something in the engine where with 2 physics bodies are inside of each other, it calls like damage if it's a damageable, and there's no documentation around this, and it's not clear where this damage is even coming from, which was kind of obnoxious. Where are these arbitrary values? But I just had to filter out any damage that is not something I am sending it. I kind of am doing these initial waves where it's like we trickle in a couple enemies, trickle in some more, and then like one final rush where it's like a bunch of enemies all at once. And so that's where we got these like 5 guys right here, and then we also have another set of 5 right behind them. So it's like, okay, you were able to handle them one at a time, but what if we increase the intensity and send a whole lot? And you might hear the music change, that drum effect. That's the now things are more intense. And this shotgun is way too loud and needs to be wiped down. You can sometimes see the little tracer bullets all over the place. All the bullets are physically simulated in this. So there's a little bit of bullet drop, which doesn't make much of a difference in close range, but the goal is to make that feel cool in a long-range setting, so that you maybe will need to lead your shots and be a little bit more cerebral about how you shoot things. So we're on to day 2. Let's go ahead and clear the forest a little bit. Oh, actually, I haven't actually tested any of these other rooms. I don't know if I want to do that right now. So how about we clear the forest? That's the most important thing to do. That's in defense. Clear forest. We have sound effects in our UI now. There's just way more sound and audio going on because everything was quiet, and I love making things sound cool and having sound effects. It is sometimes just very tedious to go through a bunch of stock libraries and find the right sounds. I think let's go ahead and sleep. I've also made it so effects will make a difference when you do stuff. Or like the sleeping does have effects to you. Actually, sleeping for another hour won't really do much. We could just search. Our energy level will be okay still. See a little sound effect for that. We got a little bell ringing at the end of the day. And alright, I think we're good with the same loadout, so let's just hop on into it. Little music change. Night 3. I like that little sting sound effect. So yeah, the forest is a lot further back. Now we're into the game, you know? Now we can snipe. I should have put the 4x scope on. This 2x is not good enough. So now we get purple-eyed monsters in night 3. These purple ones are different than the red ones, where if you kill something near it, kill another enemy near it, they get a little upset, and they do a little roar, and they run faster. And they run a lot faster than the red ones, compared to when you just kill them on their own. Or just damage them, I mean. So kind of, you know, it's easy to see the purple eyes, so it's, okay, you gotta shoot the purple guys first. I should focus on shooting these guys instead of talking. I always figure when I make a game and I play it, I'm probably better than average player. And so it's whenever I struggle, I'm like, okay, this is maybe actually too hard. Which leads me to thinking something needs to be a little easier. Like, this is just way too many enemies for a night 3 on a game. If we hadn't cleared the forest, we'd be screwed, but maybe that's part of the game. It's supposed to be a hard game, right? This model that we have here, I did the animations myself for it, which is why it has this atrocious in-between shot. God, who knows if you can hear me with that shotgun blast. I don't actually want to die here. This is not on purpose. Thank God I have a shotgun though. Oof, I think we might die. This is way too hard. I need to dial back the difficulty. Yeah, I can barely survive. Oh, come on. Alright. Do not have more. Alright, no more. Yeah, that was a little much. I think I need to just maybe add a little bit more delay between those waves. I also think, I don't know if you've ever, there's this game called, wow, I can't remember. It's like top down, it's scary, something woods, dark wood. I think that the sunrise effect that I have in my game is the same one they use for their sunrise. I started using it, I was like, wait, this sounds really familiar. It might be the same sound effect. Alright, what are we doing? We need to repair our front door, so I can show the other monster as well. So we repaired it one step, and then let's go ahead and let's upgrade the frame also. That gives us another 1000 HP on it, and let's do this as well. Another 500, and we can go ahead and repair it. It's really not good to do tasks when you're in danger level energy. It takes 3 hours and 20 minutes to do this right now. Like, if I just take a little nap, let's do it for 2.5 hours. You can see that once I'm not so tired, if I go and do it, it's only going to take me 3 hours. So being tired makes things take longer. So I really want like sleeping to be something you're considering. And sleeping, when you sleep in a long burst, you regenerate more energy than like multiple short bursts. So on to the next night. This time we are going to bring our 4x scope on our hunting rifle and hope that we can survive it. This game's way too hard. Let's see how we go. Alright, we have a lot more HP on our door, so I bet we'll be fine. We can tank a lot of damage. Another thing, oh my god, I almost forgot. The other thing is I want to add barricades and defenses and traps and all that good stuff. That's, I think, will make the game a lot more interesting. Also right now it's a little too bright. I kept on struggling with brightness versus darkness, and I've made it a little bit too bright now where having like lights doesn't even matter. Like, the moon is too bright. That's what's really causing all this light. And that moon there actually moves in the sky. Alright. So 4x scope, this is helping quite a bit with our aim. Yeah, we could actually headshot these guys. Something I've noticed with this picture-in-picture scope that I'm using is it's, you know, rendering a second camera onto the scope, but depending on how close you bring the scope up to the player's like camera, it, you know, really drastically affects how zoomed in everything feels. So I think there's some tweaking I have to do to make the 4x scope, you know, feel a good amount better than the 2x. Oh boy. Let me headshot this guy. And then part of bringing multiple weapons is, you know, these guys are a little too close to my hunting rifle now. Yes, it's just way too many enemies, and you know, maybe I should make them slower when you get the force back. That might be interesting. The goal of this game was to be a slow, methodical, you know, shooter, and we're gonna get there. We're just not there right now. There's just way too many enemies, and they move a little too fast. Alright, well, we're at a point where, I think I might actually just let them kill me. How about we just shoot some of these guys for fun? These guys are fun because if you hit them, they speed up a whole lot, and they stay sped up. Otherwise, they just kind of waddle. If you time it just right, you can headshot them. But if you're going a little fast, then you could miss it. I think I should make their heads a tiny bit bigger because that last one I felt like I headshot, but maybe I hit his neck instead. All right, almost broke our front door. That's great. You can do it, guys. We could look inside our room. You know, we're barricaded in here, but a whole lot of them. So. Those are big crash sounds. I should have only played that once. So I wanted to have a sort of like leave it up to your imagination game over screen. So just black, and you just hear audio. Maybe I'll add a little monster too that pops out like from the darkness, but not like a jump scare way. I think the best horror is the one that you make up in your mind. So when you get game over, I think stats are always fun. So I give the player some stats. Knights survived 0. Well, that's a bug. We gotta fix that. But we can see, you know, I killed 121 enemies. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. I had really bad accuracy, but I did get a lot of headshots. That's pretty cool. You know, I can see how many hours I slept because I don't know, that's fun. Resources found, that is definitely more than what it was. So I clearly did not hook up these two things properly. I mean, trees cut down is kind of just based off of when you're clearing the forest, it just increments this number. So it's kind of a BS number, but I think it's fun. Not every number has to be meaningful. Treasure sold, items crafted and purchased, and finally we get fate. So, you know, the meta upgrade of this game, or the meta upgrade currency is fate. For now, who knows, we might change it, and change the odds. I want to make this feel like almost like supernatural, you know, religious something, you know. That's why we got this like this humming sound, and when you hold down unlock, it shakes it. I want it to feel powerful, you know, because this is a big decision. This is going to affect whenever you play the game. There's two types of sort of upgrades right now. One is just you spend points to unlock and you upgrade them. The other is achievements, and I'm thinking I should probably separate these more, or I should have little like indicators to say you have unlockable things. But one of them, for instance, is forest clearing. You know, allows you to cut back the forest further each cycle. I haven't actually implemented the effect of this, but you can unlock it, which is cool. So I cut back the forest this cycle, and so I can unlock it. And the idea is now I can clear the forest even more. So the first time I play, for instance, I can't cut the forest back more than once, but then once I finally cut it back once and I lose, then I can unlock this, and now I can clear it back a second time. And then other sort of progression things like getting enough headshots. I could have sworn I set this up properly, but I guess I didn't. Oops. But this would, you know, increase the damage of my headshots by, you know, 20% or something like that. So just over time when you play the game, it will get a little easier. These are all stats that affect things you do during the day mostly, or sometimes at night, like dexterity and accuracy help you with the spread of your shots or reloading your firearms faster. So that all is hooked up. Got some cool sound effects. this is also another thing I'll have to do some passes in of for like balance and whatnot. And lastly, you can do a try again and start the game over again. Right now, none of the progression saves. That'll come later. But we got the system there, and it actually does like affect things. I think I don't remember how many times I upgraded my accuracy and reload speed, but I think it's around like a 5% boost for every upgrade. So I think the max level is 8, maybe 10. So it's a significant upgrade once you get enough points. So yeah, that's kind of what I think that's been a lot of what I've worked on last month. You know, we got the house in. I don't think we have any new guns. We could actually go up to like the balcony. I have a no clip in here. I guess I don't have gravity to fall down though. Oh yeah, none of the rooms are activated either. And that shouldn't be active though. Can I go into that? Yeah, I don't. Here we go. Yeah, so you can see kind of how it feels to be on the roof now. You can imagine with if you had the sniper instead, and the forest is cleared back even further, that could be really advantageous. And to kind of show a little behind the scenes bit, you know, our forest is there's stuff thrown back here, these trees, but there's another layer that gets created closer. I call these like little privacy bushes, so the monsters will spawn back in here, and you can't see them when they spawn very well. And then this all gets destroyed, and then there's another set, you know, that gets created further back. And our door got broken again. All right, well, thanks for watching this extended sort of commentary slash deep dive. Hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, let me know what you think. If you have any cool ideas, or if anything really resonated with you, or I love hearing ideas and you know, feedback and suggestions.